We realised that on April 29th we're going to have the biggest boxing event Britain has ever seen at the Wembley Stadium for the Unified Heavyweight Championship of the World between Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko. There's so many people to thank, and we'll go into that further later on in the press conference. And right now I'm going to pass over to our exclusive broadcast partner for the UK, who's going to have questions for everybody on the table. That's Adam Smith.
Thanks, Eddie. It really is a super fight, and it's fantastic to be back here at Wembley Stadium. What better stage in Britain at the end of April 2017 to get Vladimir Klitschko and Anthony Joshua into a ring. I think it's wonderfully exciting, not just for British boxing, but for sport worldwide. I'm going to ask a few questions. I'm going to kick off with Anthony. And we're going to go right straight into it. Do you believe that you can, on April the 29th, knock out Vladimir Klitschko and move up in levels and cement your place as a real heavyweight champion?
Yeah, well, knockout is the cherry on top, but to win, whichever way, I think is very possible. And this is a fight that can change from champion to legend overnight, right? It's a fight that will get the masses out and draw massive attention, and they're the type of fights that can change that's the type of fight that can change the way people view you in your industry. So as I said, right now I'm IBF champion of the world, but now it's about beating the right people to go down in history. But it's not doing it once, it's doing it over and over again. So this is just the start of that legendary campaign.
And Vladimir, straight to you, do you believe that you can in some way expose Anthony Joshua on April the 29th as a fighter that's not nearly ready for your level of experience and seasoning?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'm really glad and happy to be here at this stadium. The stadium is famous worldwide, and now Anthony and I will have a chance to perform here on April 29th, and I will describe probably in 5 steps, my dream and what I feel. It's like in the same way, like a boxer cannot punch with 1 finger. Even with 2, he's not strong enough. We have 5, so I have 5 steps. And if I put these 5 steps together, that makes a fist that can punch through anything in life. So, in the first step, my goal and target to become 3-time world champion. I've been holding myself back for a year and a half, which was first time in my entire 26-year career, and I look forward to be back in the ring and the set to become 3-time world champion. Second, with the second step, all as the consequences. So what is going to happen if Anthony will win this fight? I will congratulate you, and I will congratulate you. When I will win this fight, I will help you to come back. In the third step, obviously I need to have somebody that's going to help me to get myself in the perfect shape. So we'll have sparring partners, my direct competitors that want to knock me out in the ring during the sparring sessions, and we're probably going to look for the same guy, because Anthony like me, same size, same arm length, always same, different colors, but the rest is the same. So those sparring partners will definitely help me to get in better shape. In the fourth step, I imagine standing in the middle of this stadium, holding those belts in my hands, to all the fans. We're talking about 80, 90,000, who knows, maybe somebody gonna get in, standing there, we're gonna get it to 100,000. So I've been fighting the stadium, an arena where it was 1999, Axel Schulz, German hero. I was walking in an arena with 18,000 sold out Köln Arena. I was booed until the 5th round, but I was cheered up when I was holding my European title in my hands. So I'm imagining, I have imagination in my head and a dream to hold those hold those belts in my hands. And fifth and the final step, which is very important to me, 5 steps. I'm obsessed with my first step, with my goal, to become champion again. Thanks.
You say you're obsessed. Is that because of the performance against Tyson Fury? What went wrong that night? And as you said, you've had time out. There'll be a year and a half before you get back into the ring. What makes you believe that you can perform again at that level and regain those world heavyweight titles?
I would say this setback for a year and a half. By the time I'll be standing in the ring here, I'll be 41. So a year and a half break, is it good? Is it bad? I feel it's good. And I feel that my, so far, last performance was not good. I was not holding, as usually, like in the past, whatever, 1 years and a half, my hand up after the fight. And I would tell you, my motivation is as high as the sky. If that would be different, probably my motivation wouldn't be as good. But you know what, now I have to wake up. You know, it was just a wake-up call before the big match, before this big event, and an extravaganza event. And I would remember right now words of Emmanuel Stewart. He always said to me, Vladimir, your signature fights are going to come up. We don't know when it's going to happen, but this man was so right. This is definitely a signature fight for Anthony and for myself. So I look forward to it.
Anthony, there's always been a lot of respect between the pair of you. I know you've worked in Vladimir's camp, and Vladimir said you like the heir apparent. What makes you believe that the time is right for you after your 18 knockout wins and a different sort of experience getting to this stage?
What makes me feel that the time is right? I think it's all about winning. At the end of the day, it's another fight. You asked me after the fight how I felt about taking on Klitschko at Wembley, and I was like, doesn't matter where it is, we can fight in here, we can fight there. But when I look back on it and I calm down, it's history, it's an amazing opportunity, and the time is now. It's an opportunity that presented itself, and I'll be silly not to jump at the opportunity to fight Klitschko because it's a man that I need to defeat, and I said to kind of start building my reputation and respect in the division. And when you listen to me, I'm always honest about how I perform and how I conduct myself and how I've navigated through my career. So 18 months ago, well, when I first time fought, was questions after my second pro fight. When are you going to fight him? When are you going to fight him? Give me 2 years. Give me 2.5 years. Then a year ago, they asked me the same question. Give me another year. And right now, we're at a stage where a year ago, we're in the present. So I've always said it to myself, and everything I say to myself kind of comes into reality. So that's what makes the time right, because I predicted this time 18 months ago.
Hey, Tyson Fury shocked the world, obviously out in Germany by beating Vladimir. Does that give you a game plan? Does that give you tactics, or have you got to do your own thing alongside Robert McCracken?
Yeah, most definitely. No game plan from Tyson Fury, and no, I can't really take away anything from watching Klitschko perform that night. Each fight is different, each performance is different, and when I listen to what Klitschko is saying, he's very motivated and obsessed with performing better than he did in his last fight. So if I can defeat that Klitschko that comes April 29th, will show how great of a champion I'm going to be. So I just got to take the positive from it, no problem, and we'll come together and put on a great show.
Vladimir, Anthony had Robert McCracken in the corner for the first time, as you saw on Saturday in Manchester. You've had the great Emmanuel Stewart, you've had Jonathan Banks. I know your brother Vitaly's helped you. What's the team for this one? Because it's such a big moment for you. Who's behind you?
The same people that you've seen in the past, so nothing is going to be changed.
The same team, the right team?
Are you calling it wrong? The same right team as it was in the past.
And you've been preparing in the same way in Austria, in your camp?
I'll be doing and relying my preparation on experience that I gained in the ring, and I'm an expert how to prepare and get myself ready. So I will prepare accordingly.
What have you learned from being with Anthony Joshua, both in camp, seeing his development, being at ringside watching him on Saturday, that makes you believe that you will, again, become world heavyweight champion in front of these 90,000 people here at Wembley?
I was, I am, and I will be very complimentary of him. First time I saw him perform here in London, 2012, when he became Olympic champion. So I felt this man is following into my footsteps in a certain way. I've been fighting Olympic champions in the past as Povetkin and Ray Mercer. Whatever that fight, as I said, I truly believe that he's one of the best heavyweights right now. No disrespect to another champion, as Parker recently became WBO champion, and Wilder, Deontay Wilder in WBC, but I think Anthony's absolutely outstanding athlete. And it's great that actually eventually we meet. I really think that, unfortunately, I will remember his name once again, Daniel Stewart, and I told you, Anthony, unfortunately, man, I couldn't see you, and I know he would have been very impressed, and he would love to, meet as well. So, and I remember Anthony was just, I had Olympic champions in the camp as well, and then the world champions, and so they're all